Mesoma's mansion was a symbol of her successful businesses. Despite her great wealth that surrounded her, she felt an emptiness that wealth could not fill. Her heart had a mark with a scar because of her love life. It all began when she met Ima at a party. He was charming with a smile that could light up a room and a confidence that was intoxicating. Mesoma, always the cautious woman in everything she does, found herself falling really hard for Ima. Ima seemed genuinely interested in her life, her dreams and her passion. They talked for hours that night, and by the end of it, Mesoma had fallen like a tree. Ima pursued her with passion that was both flattering and reassuring. He sent her flowers, left sweet messages on her phone every morning, and always seemed to know exactly what she needed to hear. For a while, Mesoma felt like the luckiest woman on life. Emma was attentive and kind, and he made her fell deeply in love with him in a way no one else had. Months later, and their relationship grew deeper. Emma moved into her mansion and they began to talk about a future together. Mesoma, who had always been so careful with her heart, found herself daydreaming about a life with Emma. He proposed to her over a candlelight dinner, the diamond ring sparkling as brightly as the tears of joy in her eyes. She said yes, believing she had found her soulmate. However, cracks began to appear in the relationship, but Mesoma did not pay attention. Emma started to ask for money, first in small amounts, then larger amounts. He had business deals that was too good to pass by. He claimed he needed capital to secure it. Mesoma, blinded by love, transferred the money without a second thought. She trusted Emma blindly. One fateful evening, Mesoma returned home to an empty mansion. Emma was gone, and with him a shocking huge sum of money. She started to panic as she tried to call him, only to find his phone switched off. She searched the house, hoping for a note or an explanation, anything that could make sense of the chaos. But there was nothing. She started to receive tons of debit alerts. She called the bank immediately to block the account. But before she could finish the call, millions had been moved from her account. Emma had been draining her wealth right under her nose. Mesoma was shattered beyond repair. The man she had loved and trusted had deceived her, exploiting her affection for financial gain. She was very angry. So, she hired private investigators to track down Emma. But he had vanished without a trace. Weeks later, the reality of the betrayal sank in. She had been conned, and the emotional wound cut deeper than any financial loss. Her family and friends offered the little support they could, but Mesoma felt humiliated. She had prided herself on being a shrewd businesswoman, yet she had fallen for a scammer's lie. The pain was unbearable, but it was the sense of betrayal that haunted her the most. Mesoma, still surrounded by the memories of a love that had been nothing more than an illusion, made a vow. She would rebuild her life, but she would never allow herself to be vulnerable again. The betrayal had taught her a harsh lesson about trust and love. With determination, Mesoma threw herself into her work. Her business thrived under her relentless drive. As months passed, Mesoma hatched a plan. She would pretend to be crippled to see if she could find a man who would love her for who she truly is, not for her wealth. Mesoma's decision to pretend to be crippled was both a bold experiment and a desperate attempt to find genuine love amidst the betrayal. The wheelchair became her disguise, a shield against potential suitors who might be drawn to her wealth rather than her heart. So she think. One afternoon, Mesoma went to a supermarket to buy some groceries she needed for the house. As she reached for a jar of spices on a high shelf, her fingers brushed against another hand. I am so sorry, a voice, warm and concerned, said to her. When Mesoma looked up, she saw a man stood beside her. He was tall with a gentle smile, his face full of concern. He immediately bent down to retrieve the jar of spices that had slipped from her hand. No problems at all, Mesoma replied him with a smile. The man introduced himself as Obum and apologized again for the accident, offering to help Mesoma with her shopping. She accepted gratefully, struck by his kindness and sincerity. They exchanged numbers before parting ways. In the following weeks, Obum became a regular presence in Mesoma's life. He would stop by her apartment with groceries, take her out for coffee, and share stories that made her laugh. Their friendship boomed naturally. One evening, as they sat on Mesoma's balcony, gisting, Mesoma found herself opening up to Obum in a way she hadn't with anyone else. She shared the pain of her past relationship, the betrayal that had shattered her, trust in men, and love. Obum listened attentively. I just want someone that will love me for who I am, Mesoma confessed. Not for my money, nor for my status. Obum nodded thoughtfully. I understand, Mesoma, you deserve someone who sees beyond all that. Mesoma smiled gratefully, touched by his genuine friendship and understanding. Do you think such a person exists? Mesoma asked Obum. Obum replied to her, I do, and I think I know someone who might be perfect for you. Mesoma's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't expected Obum to set her up with someone. Who is this person? Mesoma asked him. Well, his name is Ike. He's a friend of mine. He's honest, hardworking, and genuinely looking for a meaningful relationship. I think you two would get along. Mesoma became really excited. Wow, could this be the beginning of something real? Could Ike be the man she had been waiting for? She quickly gets herself back. Okay, Obum, I would like to meet him. Obum smiled back warmly. I will arrange it. I think you will like him, Mesoma. As Obum left that night, Mesoma couldn't shake the feeling that her life was about to change. She had embarked on this journey with a wheelchair as a disguise, but now she dared to hope that she might find true love beyond the boundaries of her carefully guided heart. The day she will meet Ike is fast approaching, and Mesoma was so happy because Obum had spoken highly of Ike, describing him as an honest and sincere person. So she desperately wanted to believe that she could find happiness again. On one sunny Saturday afternoon, Ike arrived at Mesoma's house as planned. He dressed so smart, looking charming and handsome. Mesoma couldn't help but notice his confidence and genuine interest in his eyes as he greeted her. Mesoma, it is a pleasure to finally meet you, Ike said, extending his hand. Mesoma shook his own hand. Likewise, Ike, please come in and sit down. As they settled in the cozy living room, sipping on glasses of chilled juice as they discussed, Ike was attentive, asking questions about Mmesoma's interests, her work, and her life outside. As the evening was going, Abum excused himself to give Mmesoma and Ike some privacy. They continued talking, discovering shared interest, and laughing at each other's joke. Mmesoma found herself drawn to Chike's charisma. I have to admit, Mmesoma, Ike said suddenly, with his voice sincere. Abum told me a lot about you before we met. He spoke highly of your strength, your kindness, and your determination. Mmesoma smiled. Thank you, Ike. Obum had been a very wonderful friend to me. He cares about me a lot. Yes, he cares about you deeply. I can see that. And so do I, Ike replied. Mmesoma looked surprised. Was he sincere with his words? Or is this person another fake Emma who had come to scam her? Ike quickly sensed her tension. Mesoma, I know trust doesn't come easily, especially after what you have been through. But I want you to know that I am here because I genuinely want to know you, not for your wealth nor your status, but for who you are. Okay? Okay, Ike. I want to know you too. I really want to get to know you. And I want someone who sees beyond this thing, my wheelchair and everything. Who will love me for who I am. Ike replied to her, see, Mesoma, I promise to always be honest with you, to cherish and respect you. Will you give me a chance to show you that our love can be so real? Yes, Ike. Mesoma quickly replied to him, I will give you a chance. As the evening drew to close, Ike bid Mesoma goodbye with a promise to see her again soon. Mesoma watched him leave, feeling excited. As weeks passed, Mesoma's relationship with Ike boomed. Mesoma, always excited as she anticipated a visit from Ike. Their relationship had brought joy and hope she hadn't felt in a long time. After years of betrayal and mistrust, she dared to believe she had finally found someone who saw beyond her wealth and accepted her for who she was. Ike later arrived that evening with a bouquet of roses in his hand and a warm smile on his face. He was the perfect gentleman, always attentive and kind. Despite the evening chatting over dinner, the conversation flowing effortlessly, Mesoma felt ease and very comfortable around him, as if they had known each other for years. He took her hands, staring into her eyes. Mesoma, I want you to know how much I care about you. You have brought so much light into my life. Mesoma blushed with happiness. You have also brought joy into my life, Ike. I feel like I can trust you, Ike. Ike quickly held her hand, rubbing it gently. You can, Mesoma. I promise to always be here for you. Their relationship progressed smoothly over the next few weeks. Ike's charm and attentiveness never wavered, and Mesoma found herself falling deeper in love with him. He often spoke of their future together, painting a picture of a happy family filled with love and adventure. One day, Ike suggested they take a short trip to a nearby resort. It will be a perfect getaway for us. Mmesoma, this is a chance to relax and enjoy each other's company. Mmesoma agreed, looking forward to spending uninterrupted time with Ike. They packed their bags and set off for the resort. The days were filled with laughter, long walks, and heartfelt conversations. Mmesoma was now convinced that she had finally found her soulmate. One evening, as they sat by the pool, Ike brought up the topic of finances. Mmesoma, I know this might be a little bit forward, but I want us to be completely transparent with each other in this relationship. We are building a future together, and it is important to discuss these things. Mmesoma appreciated his openness. Of course, Ike, what do you want to know? I have been thinking about our future, and I want to make sure we are financially secured. I have some investments I like to expand, but I need a little bit of capital to get things started. Mmesoma wanting to support Ike's dreams. Okay, like how much do you need? Ike smiled. Around 5 million. Yeah, 5 million. It is a big amount, oh, I know, but it will help us build a very solid foundation for our future. Mmesoma quickly forgot herself because she is now in love. She didn't hesitate. She had trusted Ike completely and wanted to see him succeed. Consider it done, Ike. I will transfer the money to your account. Ike's eyes light up with gratitude. Thank you, Miss Oma. Thank you so much. This means the world to me. The following weeks, Ike frequently discussed new business ideas and potential investments. Mmesoma was happy to support him, transferring funds whenever he needed them. She felt a sense of pride in helping Ike achieve his goals, convinced that they were building a future together. However, as time passed, Mmesoma began to notice changes in Ike's behavior. He became increasingly secretive, often taking calls in private and leaving unexpectedly for an unexplained trips. When she questioned him, he will blush it off, calling it nothing. Don't bother yourself. One evening, as they sat on the veranda enjoying the sunset, Ike brought up a new topic. Mmesoma, I've been thinking about our future and I want us to start planning our life as a married couple. Mmesoma swelled up with happiness and pride. I will love that, Ike. Ike took her hands, his eyes charming. There is one thing we need to take care of first, since we'll be sharing everything once we get married soon. It is important that you transfer the ownership of this house to my name. It will simplify things legally once we are married. Mmesoma hesitated. But Ike, I don't see why this is necessary. We need to handle the legalities after we are married. Ike's expression softened. I understand your hesitation, Mmesoma, but it is just a formality, a way to show our commitment to each other. And also as the man of the house, trust me, it is for the best. Mmesoma reluctantly agreed. Alright, Ike, I will call the lawyer tomorrow and I'll arrange for the transfer. The next day, Mmesoma met with her lawyer, Mr. Okoro, to discuss the transfer. He expressed his concern, but Mmesoma was not listening. She was determined to prove her commitment to Ike. Despite her lawyer's reservations, the documents were prepared and signed, transferring ownership of the house to Ike's name. After that, for a while, everything seemed perfect. Ike showered Mmesoma with affection and attention, making her believe they were on the path to a blissful future. However, his true colors soon began to show. When Mmesoma started to ask about the marriage, when are you coming to see my parents? Ike would stammer and give unnecessary reasons. He became increasingly demanding and controlling. He indicated her every move, isolating her from friends and family. One evening, Ike invited a woman to their home, introducing her as his sister, called Ifoma. Mmesoma welcomed her warmly, eager to build a relationship with Ike's family. However, Ifoma's presence soon became a source of tension. She was rude and disrespectful. She started to treat Mmesoma with disdain. The final straw came when Mmesoma overheard a conversation between Ike and Ifoma. They were discussing plans to sell the house and disappear with the money. The realization hit Mmesoma like a ton of bricks. She had been deceived once again. She confronted Ike immediately and demanded answers. Ike revealed his true intentions. So you think you are so clever, Mmesoma? You are just an easy target, just like every other people. Now, the house is mine and there is nothing you can do about it. Mmesoma became weak instantly. She was so shattered. You are a monster, Ike. How could you do this to me? It is just a business, Mmesoma. You were too naive to see it. In a fit of rage, Mmesoma lashed out at Ifoma, who was busy raining insults on her, giving her a very beautiful slap across her face. Ifoma stumbled back. She was shocked because she wasn't expecting the slap. Immediately, Ike saw what had happened. His reactions was brutal. He grabbed Mmesoma, dragging her out of the house and throwing her onto the streets. You are nothing to me now. Get out and never come back. Mmesoma was speechless as tears streamed down her face. She watched as the door of her own house, the place she has built with so much love and care, closed on her face. Her world had crumbled once again, and she was left with nothing. She wandered into the streets with her wheelchair. She wasn't herself anymore. She was just strolling, looking lost. A car almost hit her. As the person jumped out of his car with anger to come and confront her while she's walking without looking, it was Obum, and he was shocked when he saw Mmesoma. Mmesoma, what happened? I could have hit you just now. Mmesoma couldn't utter a word. She was broken and she was speechless. He helped her into the car. On getting home, Mmesoma recounted the betrayal, the deception, and how Ike had thrown her out of the house she built with her own hard-earned money. Obu became very angry. Mmesoma, I wasn't around. That is why you haven't heard from me in weeks. I traveled for an urgent business trip. I didn't know Ike would turn out to be like this, so I was so sure I knew a friend. I am so sorry, Mmesoma. We will get through this together. We will expose Ike and Ifoma, and I will make sure you get your life and properties back. Obum told Mesoma to stay till everything calmed down. Few days since she had been thrown out of her own house, the shock was still fresh. Obum entered the room where she was sitting, looking sad. How are you feeling today, Mesoma? Mesoma managed to give a weak smile. I am trying to take it one day at a time. Thank you for everything, Obum. I don't know what I would have done without you. Obum sat beside her. You are strong, Mesoma. We will get through this together. I promise. As they sat in silence, the doorbell rang, breaking the moment. Obum stood up and went to answer it, returning moments later with Mr. Okoro, Mesoma's lawyer. Mesoma, how are you doing? I heard what happened, and I have some important news for you. Ike is trying to sell the house. Okay, I'm fine, Mr. Okoro. But you know that he can't sell the house. He cannot be able to sell it because the house document given to him is fake. I know, Mesoma, but there is more. I just found out that Ifeoma is not Ike's sister. He is wife. They have been working together to scam people, and you are their next victim. Mesoma and Obum were shocked. Obum said, I don't know Ike is married though. Ha, hey God. With Mr. Okoro's eyes determined, we are going to take a legal action since we have enough evidence. Ike and Ifeoma must be held accountable for their actions. With this evidence we can build a strong case against them. Obum placed a comforting hand on Umesoma's shoulder. We will fight this. We will make sure they pay for what they have done. That very evening, Mesoma, Obum, and the lawyer sat together discussing the next step. They decided to confront Ike and Ifeoma not just legally but personally. The next day, they drove to the mansion. When they arrived, Ike and Ifeoma were surprised, and Ike became very angry. What are you doing here? Ike shouted at Mesoma. Mesoma came forward and said to him, I have come to take back what is mine, Ike. The house, my dignity, and my life. Your lies and deceit ends today. Ike laughed. You have no proof. The house is mine now. Mr. Okoro, the lawyer, stepped forward. Actually, Ike, we have all the proof we need. The document we use to transfer the name of this house to your own name is forged. The house still legally belongs to Mesoma, my client. Ifeoma became shocked and defeated. This can't be happening, she said to herself. Mesoma continued. And I also know the truth about you, Madam Ifeoma, the sister. You are not Ike's sister. You are his wife, and you have been scamming me with him. Obum stepped forward. Listen, the both of you, she's not alone. This time around, I am with her, and the two of you will never get away with this. At that moment, the police entered the room. Mr. and Mrs. Ike, you are under arrest for fraud, forgery, and conspiracy. They were handcuffed and moved out of the house. Mesoma turned to Obum and the lawyer. She thanked them both. I couldn't have done this without you both. Thank you so much. Obum took her hands, his eyes full of admiration. You are incredible, Mesoma. I am proud of you. Mesoma and Obum started a new life together, one filled with genuine love and respect. They grew more closer and eventually fall in love with each other. One evening, he proposed to her in front of his friends. Overwhelmed with emotions, Mesoma stood up from her wheelchair and revealed the truth about her pretense. Obum was shocked, but at the same time, he was happy for her. Mesoma learned that true love was not about wealth, but about finding someone who loved her for who she was. This story became a lesson to many about the importance of integrity, kindness, and true love. And as for Ike and his wifey, Ifoma, they faced the consequences of their actions, serving as a reminder that karma never forgets. We are sending a special hug to Celestina Shedrack 2300 and Gifty Spencer 3731. Thank you all for your support on this channel. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share this beautiful story with your loved ones and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it so much. Thank you once more. Goodbye and God bless you.